Hey, welcome to the show, Blow the Whistle. We have some real sports stuff to talk about, like James Franklin getting fired and all that stuff, but it's a terrible weekend for me in many ways. It's one of the worst sports weekends in a long time. I lost so much money. I didn't hit a I'm telling you.
Oh, no.
This was one of the worst betting weekends for me that I think I've ever had.
Yeah.
Nothing hit.
I thought we were talking Arkansas and
No, that's part of it.
Okay. That's what I thought, too.
No, that's part of it.
Even
I think
worse.
everybody knows that's coming.
right.
Between the Cowboys losing,
Oh.
my wife having OU lose, and then me.
Ooh.
And then I lost thousands of dollars this week.
And when your teams lose, it sucks.
It sucks.
But when you lose money on top of that, you want to,
I would trade and let them keep. I would trade the money, though, for the wins. Because I'm only betting with money that's entertainment anyway.
I get that. But still, it's just it's the icing on the cake.
I'll make more money. I can't get these games back.
That's true.
That's true.
They're lost.
You need that balance. Like, I was opposite. I lost a lot of money, but the Patriots won.
But you probably feel okay then.
I feel fine.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I would
I'm
rather
cool.
my teams win. If I got to pick one, I'd rather my teams win. I lost thousands of dollars.
Dang.
It sucked. And I just kept, it was just stupid. It's stupid. Okay, I didn't go to Knoxville. Eddie texted me the day before. He's like, you going to go? I thought I was going to go. I really did.
I thought you were going to go, too.
In my head, even when I woke up, I was going.
So what happened?
My wife was like, are you sure you want to go? Did we ever blow the whistle?
Yeah,
blew
we
the
did.
whistle.
Okay. I shot out of a can, and I don't know if we blew the whistle
You
or
never
not.
care that much when you miss my whistle.
I know, man. I know.
Never.
I woke up, and my wife's like, you going to go or no? Because I was over looking for single tickets, and I found one because they were going down closer to the game.
Really?
And there was one like 4 rows back, 45, 50-yard line, like $300, really cheap for that ticket. And I was like, I think so.
Single ticket.
Yeah. It's like, I think so. She goes, okay. Are you sure? And I'm like, why? What do you think? She goes, you have a possibility to lose both big games today, and that's going to be the worst drive home in the history of your drive homes.
Yeah.
And I said, well, that's really not a positive thing to say. And she goes, it's not positive or negative. Look at the odds. And she never uses odds.
Mm-hmm.
She goes, both of your teams are supposed to lose. And I was like, but if we go and we win, I'm going to be so upset that I wasn't there. And she was like, you're Mr. Analytics and Mr. Logic about everything. Everything. No, Mr. No emotion. You always want to do things logical, what you think the circumstances present the best opportunity. And she goes, I think you're stupid. Maybe not stupid. She goes, I don't think it's the smartest decision to go.
Yeah, she wouldn't use that word.
Yeah.
That was a different reason.
That me, yeah.
Yeah.
She goes, I don't think it's the smartest decision to go. And a little bit, I was so offended. I was like, but we're going to go. Like, Bobby Petrino's back, baby. We're going to go. I'm going to win the game. It's going to be one of the great sports nights of my life by myself in a sea of orange. Like the red ink just spreads in the milk. And it's just like, oh, you guys suck. I'm the great. I just was picturing it.
I can tell.
It's awesome.
The imagery.
Yes. And then on the way home, I was going to watch the Cubs game
Of course.
on my phone. We were going to dominate that 3.5 hours home. I'm so glad she talked me out of it.
Yeah,
That would have been bad.
We lost them both, and I lost a lot of money.
and the Arkansas, like, you got hope, then no hope. Then hope, then no hope.
At the end of the game, it sucks because we definitely could have won that game. We fumbled 3 times.
Again.
Yeah, I don't feel like that's a Bobby Petrino loss. I feel like that's Bobby Petrino actually making up a little ground from where we were.
Mm-hmm.
So it sucks. It'd have been awesome to be 1-1 in the SEC because we'd have been back in the mix for the conference. I was already thinking that.
In the talk.
Yeah, I was like, we're back in the mix, baby. We're going to be winning the SEC.
Yeah, it goes A&M, then Arkansas.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm looking to Alabama.
That's what we
and
were
all
going to
that.
do. So that the Arkansas game sucked. And then it was the first game the Cubs didn't score a whole bunch of runs in the first inning. And it was just, they hit a home run. We answered. They hit a home run. We didn't answer. They hit. And it was like that. It was over. That game to me, I don't think I was as hurt by because we just didn't have we don't have the pitching to win
Yeah.
multiple series.
Yeah.
We just don't.
And you can see that as they're playing. You're
Yes.
like, you know what? I can like wave the white flag, like, you know what? You're a better team, whatever it is. That's fine.
Milwaukee was awesome this year.
Yeah.
The second half of the year, they were about 500 the first half, but they were shot out of a cannon like I was at the start of this show.
Mhm.
Second half,
Yes.
and they just had way more pitching. The Arkansas game hurt worse. I was ready to win the SEC.
Hmm.
I was back, baby. We were back. I'm glad I didn't go.
Was there any part of you when Caitlin was telling you, like, you should not go. I know the way your brain works.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? I'm going to go to prove her wrong.
Yep. Yep.
And then that drive back, I'm going to be, yeah, I told you. I told you.
Yeah, for sure. And she said, I know what you're going to do. I'll go ahead and predict it. If you go, you're going to send me a text about, I don't know, halfway through the game going like, this sucks. I'm miserable here. I should have never come. And I said, well, and then she goes, and she pulled up like 3 other times I'd done that.
All the history is on there.
Yeah, I'd gone to things and been like, I don't know why I even came to this. This is stupid. So that's a bad day. Saturday was a bad day for me.
Sorry.
Sorry,
and
man.
she didn't get any nicer because OU lost to Texas. That was a bad
Oh,
one.
gosh.
So she watched the game. She likes just to be outside for some reason. And so we have
People like that.
I know. I
It's
don't
a
get
weird
it. I have
thing.
no need. I
Like
got
on a patio?
yeah, like
outside?
outdoors.
our couch right here with the TV outside.
Interesting.
She watched the game outside, and I have allergies, and I don't want to be outside unless there's like something that can only specifically be done outside. Like if we're playing like flag football,
It's got to be done outside.
or if we're playing golf,
Yeah.
I get it.
Grilling.
But if all things are equal, I ain't gonna be outside. What's out there? Nothing.
Allergies?
Nothing that's not inside.
Everything you just said.
Yes. And so she wanted to watch it outside, so she put it on the screen outside, and she was doing some pregnancy exercises and doing some curls and stuff. Well,
Nice.
yeah. So she's watching the game, and then Oklahoma never did anything.
Mm-mm.
Like there was never even like a hope of, wow, now we're just turning it around. And I'll be honest, it wasn't like I flipped over and watched a whole lot of it because my game was on at the same time.
Yeah.
But she was dejected. I think she would have rathered me be gone because she was so dejected. And I'm like, we suck. I hate it. And she's like, well, we lost. We're 5-0, and we have a real reason to be upset about losing.
So, a quick question. You guys are watching 2 games at the
Separately.
same house, but in separate rooms, obviously.
Well, no, she's in the outside room.
Outside,
She's
not room.
outside.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and you're inside somewhere. Do you guys see each other at all during those 3 hours?
Well, yeah, and I have video because I was recording or working out a little bit because I was inside.
Okay.
And then she started working out outside while watching the screen. And I'm like, man, I'm just over here getting fat watching the game. So I moved to the gym
Nice.
where
There
we
we
have a
go.
TV in the gym. So I started working out so she could see me work out while I was watching the game.
Attaboy.
I think we moved like 5 screens.
That's great.
We just moved all the way around for like 3 hours.
That's awesome.
So it's a bad Saturday.
I had no idea if you were going to go or not. So I didn't check. Purposely, I was like, I don't want to check Instagram, or anything to see if he's there.
Just hear the story.
Yeah, it's just so I can
Yeah.
show up and see if he's there. But then I finally cheated this morning. And I'm like, no, he didn't go.
Yeah.
Well, I posted a message too before, and I was like, I can't go. My wife said we're going to lose both games, and I don't want to be miserable because if we lose both games, I'll be mad I went. If we'd have won one of them, I'd have been happy. It wouldn't have
Happier.
either one. I'd have been happier. Yeah, I
Yeah.
wouldn't have been. If Arkansas would have lost like they did and the Cubs would have won, that lifted me up on the
Mhm.
way home.
For sure.
Or the opposite would have been great. We'd won, and even if the Cubs lost on the way home, but it was double. I knew it was going to be double. All I do is lose. I suck. I hate sports and life, and I had a sucky weekend, and it's just terrible. It's just terrible. So that's all. I'm done. Cowboys lost 2. Good.
Cowboy, and that was just terrible too,
Good,
man.
good.
Just ruined my day.
I don't even care about the freaking Panthers. I'll bet $500 on the Cowboys plus 1 because I thought they were going to come back and win the game, and I lost that too. I'm telling you, every bet I made.
Oh man.
So I was even mad. I was mad at
live
you.
bet it?
I was mad at you.
But I didn't do anything.
I know, but you're associated with the Cowboys.
I was mad too, dude.
Like I was rooting for. I'm a new Panther fan, whatever. But I was rooting for the Cowboys because it's more important for you and Mike to win
Thank you.
than it is for me and my new team to win. That's not even really my team, right? I'm just
Right.
I'm flirting.
Thank you for being transparent with that.
I'm flirting, but their uniforms looked awesome.
They did. I like that black
Yeah.
that
helmet.
blue on blue with the black helmet.
That black matte
They
helmet.
brought me in. They brought me in a little more this week
Yeah.
for sure.
That's nice. And our boy,
dude.
Tet McMillan, he had a good game.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Rico out.
Yeah, he took it out on the Cowboys. He's like, you're going to get rid of me? I'm going to show you why you don't get rid of me.
2 games in a row over 200 yards.
And he talked smack this
Yeah,
week.
he did. Did you see him just hit that? Like when we did that pick 6, well, it wasn't a pick 6. It was a pick. We ran it down the sideline. He just hit the blocker. He didn't even tackle the guy with the ball. He just nailed the
really?
blocker. He's like, I'm just hitting someone. I don't care who I hit.
Yeah,
Dang.
he and they played well.
They did. They did. Now, we could have won that game, but they did great clock management that last drive where they just milked it all the way down to the end.
Cowboys tried to let him score,
Oh, I
Tried
did see
at the
that.
end.
And he
I
fell.
did see that.
and they couldn't even do that right.
No.
I thought you guys were going to win.
I did too. That's why I bet it. I was like,
Yeah.
Cowboys plus 1.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put 500. I'm in the hole a lot. I'm gonna get a little bit of that back. Nope.
No,
George Pickens had a day.
dude.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean
he's going to make a lot of money
Was,
next year.
was he the one with the big leap too?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Like
Yeah.
a sideways hurdle.
Yeah.
Which
He
is
was so
which is
high.
great too. When CD comes back and you got that on both ends, like it's gonna be really exciting.
Yeah, unless they don't mix well. Because when he came, he was for sure the number 2.
For sure.
And he will be the number 2. But he's going to be more like 1B
1.5. 1B.
because he's been playing awesome.
Yeah.
He's still a bit reckless. Even that play
Yeah.
when he jumped, he was like,
He's got one ball in the hand, holding it out.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
definitely for sure. Stiff arming, not even stiff arm, punching people in the helmet.
he's for sure going to make a lot of money. 'Cause I think this is it on his contract. This is,
It was a one.
I think
Yeah,
this is the
one deal.
last year of that deal.
A rookie contract.
Yes. So you may fact check me on that. But I made a bunch of notes.
Great. That's what the Cowboys need to just pay more money to players.
He won't stay with the Cowboys.
I know.
They can't afford him.
I know.
He's making his money. The best thing to ever happen to him was CeeDee Lamb to get hurt. Because he's a number 1.
Right.
He doesn't have the body of a number 1. But god dang, he's electric.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Eligible free agent after this year.
So I wrote down the Panthers uniform looked really good. Here's what I said. I also wrote down I'd look awesome with a dowdle piercing.
Question: how does that piercing work?
I don't know, but it looks awesome. It's like in his cheek,
Like, where's the backside of that? In his face?
dude.
The inside of
It
his
goes
face?
all the way through the back of his neck.
Like, you know what I mean? Like an earring, like you got one side
Yeah.
of the ear and then you buckle it in the back of the ear, but I don't know where the backside of that is.
So if you haven't seen, Rico Dowdle has a piercing. It's like in his cheek,
Yeah.
and it's like a little ball stud,
Like under
like
his
a diamond.
eye.
It's awesome, and I would look good with that. That's what I wrote.
It's like a butterfly anchor. You know, when you put it in the wall and like once it gets in there, it spreads out and stuck.
Oh, so behind it,
Maybe.
it opens
So
up.
in
I don't know how you get it out.
In his face?
So you got to put that with a level. You got to
the one with the bubble?
Yeah, you got to pierce it with a level there.
You got your tool belt.
So
So you said you'd look good with
yeah.
that?
If I had one of those, I'd look
Mhm.
good.
Which side would you go?
My right side. It's my bad eye. So I put it in my bad.
You put it
my
under
bad
your
eye.
back. What's the reasoning behind that?
Because
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't want
curious.
I don't want anything toxic into my good eye.
Oh, good idea.
I
good
only got
idea.
one good eye. Why would I put anything metal
Right.
around it?
That's true.
Another funny thing that I wrote down was it's not funny that Baltimore keeps losing, but man, what they're 1-5 now?
Yeah. It's
Awful. And Cooper Rush, not the Cooper Rush of the Dallas Cowboys.
Nope. No, it's a different
What happened
dude.
to that guy?
Zay Flowers fumbled too, and he never it's a bad deal right now in Baltimore. But the thing that I wrote was they went to John Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Harbaugh.
They cut to him, and he's just dejected. He's so sad. It's like late third quarter. The game is over. His face is hanging like, but he has on that confetti Baltimore hat because all the coaches were in
Oh,
like
the catch
conf-
what is it
Crucial
called?
catch.
Crucial catch.
It's like confetti. It's like JoJo Siwa. It's
Yeah.
like what she would wear. And it cuts to him being so sad in a JoJo Siwa hat with the Baltimore on it. I was like, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's almost like the Lieutenant Dan meme, you know, where he's the New Year's party.
Oh, yeah.
He's got all the confetti
smiling.
on.
And he looks so angry.
It was just the worst hat for that exact shot because he was over life. And it's like let's take a live look at him, and he's got JoJo Siwa on with the ponytail with all the
That's
curls
So sad.
and the colors.
Sucks.
Yeah. All right. Hey,
What's
I
up?
say this complimentary. You look really tired.
I'm exhausted, dude.
Yeah.
I'm exhausted. I think so. So we decided to do like a family trip to Hershey, Pennsylvania. And when we do these family trips, it's 4 days, I think minimum is kind of what you need for a family to have fun at a theme park or whatever. We did it in 2 days.
So you left Friday morning.
Yep.
So you get there because part of it too was you were doing a thing for the show. We have a partner that is that school that takes in a bunch of kids.
Yeah, the Milton Hershey School.
Right.
Which is awesome. And so I'd never seen it before, so we were going to do a tour of it that day. That tour was 5 hours. So we did a 5-hour
Did
tour.
all your kids go on the tour?
No, just me.
Got
So
it.
they went to the pool, hung out at the hotel, and then I went to do the tour for 5 hours. But mind you, we woke up at 3 that morning.
Mhm.
Not just me, like we can do that. The kids, the whole family, getting them to the airport at 4 in the morning is brutal. And so that whole day just kind of like started crazy. We got there, did the tour, and then we hung out and had dinner and went to the pool afterwards. The next day, we spent all day at Hershey Park, which is amazing.
The theme park.
It's a theme park, yeah. and it's all Hershey themed. It's every like Jolly Rancher this, Twizzler that, chocolate bar this, Reese's peanut butter cup this. It's awesome. It's amazing. But by like 7 o'clock, which was really just 6 o'clock our time, we're exhausted.
Day 2 of the trip, though.
Day 2, and then we got to fly out at 8 a.m. the next day. So it was a lot. We had a lot of fun, and that place is awesome, but I'm exhausted.
Were you delayed with all the FAA people being out?
Not really. We were delayed on the way back. Yeah, we got delayed in Philly, which was only about an hour and a half. I don't know if that was weather or if that was government, shutdown, whatever. But yeah, we got just delayed.
You got lucky then.
We did.
It looks like it's been bad.
I think what helps for us is that early flight.
Oh, yeah. The early flight means you're not going to be that late because there are not that many flights going in and out before it.
Yeah,
you always want to get an early one because they're hardly ever delayed, unless the plane's broken.
Yeah.
Never because it's got to be held up because the plane's coming in from somewhere else.
And we flew into Harrisburg, which is tiny, tiny airport, right? And we were even we waited 20 minutes to take off from Harrisburg. They're just waiting on traffic. There's no one here. There's 2 planes, but there's probably one dude in the control tower.
Yeah.
Yeah, your eyes tired.
Yeah, dude, I'm tired. But hey, man, we're good though. We're good. I got to watch the Cowboys game in the plane, which I didn't know American Airlines had live TV like Southwest does.
It's always easier to watch a game, it's always easier to fly when you can watch something that keeps you focused, not so miserable.
Yes, and then with the kids too, they all want to watch the game, so they were all quiet.
Oh, that's good.
They'll watch the game?
They'll watch the game, yeah. Yeah, we had 3 tablets going at the same time, so they all have Bluetooth going into it.
Yeah. We missed the parlay. I missed everything, so I don't know what you guys want me to do, but
yeah, no, we didn't hit that. It's
that
okay,
Georgia
though.
money line.
But I missed 2 out of 3. Alabama minus
parlays.
3.5 versus Missouri. That was a loss, although they did win. That was a loss. Georgia beat Auburn, whatever they shouldn't have. I should have lost that too. Illinois run by Ohio State. Whatever. I suck. It's terrible. Yeah. Football's back, and so is your chance to cash in like never before with DraftKings Pick 6, the official daily fantasy partner of the NFL. Your game day instincts can score you real money fast. Here's the play. You just go and you pick more or less on 2 or more player stats. And a lot of places that you can't do DraftKings Sportsbook, you can do this. You got a rookie that you believe in. You got a quarterback you believe in. No gimmicks, no convoluted rules. Just you and you deciding, what you think a player will do. Like for Monday night's game, tonight's game. Bills and Falcons. Will Drake London have more or less than 73 yards? If it were me picking, I would guess more because I think they're going to have to throw a bunch to stay with Buffalo. Especially at the end of the game, could be some garbage time stats there. Bijan Robinson, more or less than 75 yards rushing. I'm going to go less because I think they're going to throw to him a bit. Josh Allen, 229 passing. I always go more on Josh Allen. You could do this. New DraftKings customers get $50 in bonus picks with just a $5 entry on your first pick set this season. Play your player instincts. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now. Use the code BobbySports. That's the code BobbySports. Play just $5. Get $50 in Pick 6 bonus picks. Make the call, ride the upside in partnership with DraftKings. Pick 6, the crown is yours. Gambling problem. All right, now we're going to go over to Brandon Marcello. When we talked to Brandon Marcello, it was right after James Franklin had been fired on Sunday evening. And then he also brought up that Trent Dilfer was fired, and you'll hear that. You may have seen that by now. We'll talk about more of that in just a second. But let's go over to Brandon Marcello, which you can follow him on Instagram. Great for college football, at Brandon Marcello, and his article up at CBS Sports is about his time at Alabama, Missouri, and how good Alabama is, etc. Here he is, Brandon Marcello. We have Brandon Marcello on with us, which I wouldn't have called to be like, hey, you want to do our hit, had I known James Franklin was going to get fired in between the time that we called and the time we got on with him, because I'm sure you're the most in-demand man around right now. So James Franklin gets fired at Penn State. I saw you in your car talking about it. My question is, does he have offset language in his contract, or will he get all that money?
I think that there's something that could be negotiated there. I haven't looked at the contract completely. I'm sure there is a possibility of that part of that being offset. We haven't gotten the full details also yet. Sometimes in some of these instances, there could even be a negotiated buyout that gets leveled down a little bit. We saw that recently with Arkansas with Sam Pittman, but either way, this is going to end up being the second largest buyout we've ever seen in the FBS, right behind Jimbo Fisher a few years ago when he got that $75 million buyout from Texas A&M. But, Penn State's got the money and they're willing to spend it, and they're just ready to move on.
How much do you put into Adidas? Because I was just seeing tweets about it, so I know nothing else. Adidas going, hey, we need to help, and we'll help pay some of this off. You think that's true?
It could be possible. I know Adidas is giving them a lot of money to be one of their big brands. You know, Adidas has not been heavily involved in college football and college athletics all that much here in recent years, and they're trying to take kind of a bigger piece of the pie here as they move forward. So that's not too surprising. The big thing to really keep an eye on too here is that the Big Ten has been exploring private equity infusion of cash, and if that comes to be, which there might be a vote here in the next week or two, you could see programs like Penn State, the upper echelon Big Ten teams, programs, let's just say, getting as much, if not more than $150 million up front from this new cash infusion from private equity. So that helps offset things. And then also, I mean, Penn State's been very willing to spend money anyway. They spent a lot of money just redoing their stadium, updating it. They've got boosters there who have been fed up, quite frankly, with James Franklin for several years. And at some point, you got to appease your boosters who might sit there and go, I'm not going to give you as much money anymore, or I'm not going to give you any money until you get rid of this guy.
When they lost Northwestern, did you think it was done?
I didn't. I thought this would be something that would go all the way through the season, and then they might have a discussion at that point. I also thought it was possible that James Franklin might sit back and wonder, have I hit everything I can hit here, and do I need to go like kind of reset my career somewhere else and be able to coach another 5-6 years plus? I thought that was a real possibility for him, and it still is. I'm just shocked that Penn State just said, we're not going to wait for that. We're just going to give you your money now and wait to see it. You can go figure something else out yourself right now. But yeah, this completely shocked me. I did not expect this.
Do you think they would have moved so quick if Aller wouldn't have been injured and out for the year?
Yeah, I think so. I think they would have still made the same decision. Absolutely.
Man, just 2 weeks ago, 3 games ago, they're freaking playing a top 5. I mean, life comes at you fast.
Yeah, it's crazy out there, and you know we've been saying for a long time. Everybody really has, is that this was going to be a crazy coaching carousel cycle, just because there were so few big jobs that came open last year. 0 in the SEC, obviously. The Big Ten's been pretty level here the last 2 to 3 years, and it's going to be really nuts come November, December. There's going to be a lot of programs out there that their fan bases are not going to be happy with the hires they make, because there's just going to be so many top tier jobs open.
Matt Rule, obviously from State College, Penn State guy at Nebraska now. I feel like, just again, I'm just gauging the temperature online, which is a terrible place to gauge any temperature. Like, even I know that. But I feel like the Penn State fans don't want Matt Rule, even though he's a hometown guy. He's been through a couple places, obviously. He's had some failures. It's not like he's turned Nebraska into a monster program. Do you think he's the guy, or do you think he's the fallback guy?
I think he's going to be the number one guy for a lot of programs. Sorry, actually just getting news about another coach being fired.
Is it broken?
Yeah. Well, I didn't break it, but UAB just fired Trent Dilfer, their head coach.
He stood us up once. We're not that
So
sad about
good.
that one. Yeah, we're not that sad about that one. Yeah.
Yeah, not surprising. They've been an absolute just disaster. But I will say this, what's interesting about that? He's got the same conference record, 5-14 in the American, as Hugh Freeze at Auburn. He's 5-14 now. And that's another job to keep an eye on later this year.
Matt Rule,
yes. Yeah, he's going to be number one on a bunch of lists of boosters and power players there. I think that would be a job he would have to seriously consider. Because as you said, it's hometown. He's got a lot of connections up there. And Nebraska, he's running against the tide every day, man. He's like trying to turn that place close back to what it was in the 90s and the early 2000s. And in this day and age, you can maybe do that with a lot of NIL cash and everything, but you're still got that stigma of you're Nebraska. You're kind of in the middle of nowhere in the eyes of recruits. And they struck it big here the last couple of years because they were able to get a legacy player like Dylan Raiola, whose family played there and all that stuff. But what happens after that? What happens after Dylan Raiola comes through there? Is the best you're going to do is maybe win 8, 9 games there? Penn State, you can go win a national championship. They've done it in the past. So if Penn State goes after Matt Rule like the way I think they will, at the very least, and kick the tires, he would have to seriously consider leaving for that. I think he would.
All right, let's bounce around a little bit. I know you went to the Alabama game. Listen, I've liked Kalen DeBoer even when times are tough. I think Kalen DeBoer is a good coach. Do we feel like he's now a good coach?
Yeah, that's the thing. He's always been a great coach. You know, he's got the best record against AP top 10 teams ever. As long as they've played more than 10 games, he's got the best record ever. The guy just wins these big games. And I know the score was 27-24, but it never really felt that close. But that's kind of Bama's problem right now under Kalen DeBoer. They're still trying to learn how to put games away. But then they make big plays when they have to put them away. And they did that against Mizzou. I mean, they opened up the second half and Ty Simpson, their quarterback, fumbles the ball to set up a Mizzou touchdown. And then all of a sudden it's a game. And then Alabama marches right down the field, has a 9-minute drive. Looks like they score, but whoops, the quarterback kneeled on the ball on accident instead of handing it off. And then Mizzou's defense stops them and forces a field goal when Mizzou should have scored a touchdown. They just make things a little bit more difficult than they should. This is a great team. Their defense has really improved. Their rush defense, more importantly, has improved. And they might end up being still the best team in the SEC this year by the end of it.
I was going to ask you who you thought was the best team in the SEC right now.
Probably Texas A&M.
Wow.
Maybe. I'd say Georgia, and you know my rankings are all over the place, but Georgia still concerns me because they just seem to be like legitimately hot and cold in the same game. I mean, they looked hot and cold against Bama. They looked hot and cold this past weekend against Auburn. And their defense isn't all that electric. You know, a couple of games ago, like 3 to 4 games into the season, their defensive line was only responsible for 4 tackles behind the line of scrimmage all season. We're used to Georgia's defensive line being a monster and something that no one ever wanted to face, to only 4 TFLs through the first 3 to 4 games of the season. But A&M, they clicking, man. They're clicking on both sides of the ball. They have a dynamic quarterback in Marcel Reed. The problem is like in the back of your head, you just get, you know, deja vu. Like, I've seen this before. A&M starts hot and then they fall apart late in October, November. That's been the case under Mike Elko last year, Jimbo Fisher throughout his tenure, and of course, even Kevin Sumlin before him. But this team's built different. They got the depth. They seem to be all together. They don't really take any weeks off between games. You don't see them kind of struggling. I think they could end up being the SEC champion.
You talk about Georgia, and I watched a bunch of that game, and for 2 reasons. I wanted to see if Hugh Freeze lasts. I was just curious to see how Auburn would come out and play for their coach. And first half, not bad. And also, they got screwed on the fumble. I don't hate Georgia. Like, I have no beef with Georgia. They win. They're not that arrogant. I'd be way more arrogant if I was winning. But this is like the first week I ever watched Kirby Smart and was like, he's kind of a slime ball. That the timeout, the clapping, the timeout, and then fighting for it again in the presser after, I really felt like Kirby Smart lost some cool points this week.
Yeah, that wasn't a good look. You know, it was like a kid like flipping off their parents behind their back, and then you turn around and catch them. They're like, "No, I was just doing jazz hands, Daddy. I'm just doing like." No, I saw you. I saw what you're doing. There's tape of it. But Kirby's kind of always been like that.
Yeah, again, they're just not that arrogant, so I don't hate them. I don't mind somebody kind of sleazy because I think you have to be that to be an successful SEC coach. You got to be dirty. You got to play.
You got to be a psycho.
Yeah.
To be a successful SEC coach.
But he was for sure calling timeout. Like, there was no doubt about it. He was calling timeout, and he was like, I was clapping. Like, at least own it later in the press. You don't have to keep fighting for it. It's on tape, man. But to go over to Hugh Freeze.
You never clapped like this?
No,
at a
never.
concert?
Not one time. Never clapped like that. Only when we finish this interview, I'm always like, that was a heck of a performance by Marcello. That was a great one. Auburn, are they going to move off Freeze?
The pressure's building, and if they don't win a couple of big games, and by big games I mean rivalry type games, Bama or a top 15, top 10 opponent down the stretch, I think it's very possible. There's a lot of heat there anyway for that type of job, and The problem with Hugh Freeze is that they brought him in to be the guy that would turn an offense around. He was known as the quarterback guy, and he's come in there and just made mistake after mistake identifying talent at quarterback. He brings in Michigan State transfer Peyton Thorne a year or two ago. That completely imploded. Then he brings in OU's Jackson Arnold, and he's pretty much a replica of Peyton Thorne. He doesn't look any different. He makes some bad throws, bad decisions, holds onto the ball too long. And you hired a coach who's supposed to have an explosive offense, and it's anything but. That's the weakness of this team, despite them having, I think, one of the top 5 receiver rooms in the entire country, a good offensive line, and some pretty good running backs. You should be scoring 30 points a game at least. And they're struggling to get out of the teens in most games, no matter the opponent. And these past 2 weeks for them against A&M and now Georgia, they look completely listless and lost in the second half of those games offensively. I mean, they had 40 yards of offense in the second half against Georgia. And most of those yards came on their final drive when Georgia was pulling everybody back just to make sure they didn't throw the ball into the end zone to hold on to the win. That's not SEC quality, and it's certainly not quality for a coach whose MO is offense.
We talk about coaching and how that carousel could actually be pretty crazy, but even the quarterback carousel, not just for NIL, but because of the coaching change. Let's say Florida, Auburn. I mean, you got Jackson Arnold, you got DJ Lagway, you got all these guys who don't have a coach, can make more money, will probably also leave. There are a lot of great quarterbacks that could also end up somewhere else next year.
Oh yeah, and then man, you look at other quarterbacks out there as well, like at North Texas. That guy's going to probably make a lot of money if he wants to transfer this upcoming year. And there's going to be others that kind of rise through the ranks, especially on the group of 5 level down the stretch. And we always have the last 2 years, we always have like a big name quarterback at a school leave. Cam Ward a few years ago, John Mateer last year at Washington State going to OU, Carson Beck going from Georgia to Miami. And I would suspect there's probably going to be a name that comes out of left field once again this year because that money talks to them.
Cignetti, I guess he's the guy, huh?
Dude, you want to talk, by the way, you want to talk about psychos? He's a psychopath, and I love it. You see it in his interactions and his interviews and everything. I made a joke to a friend that if Tim Burton, the director Tim Burton, was somehow forced into making a movie about football, he would cast Curt Cignetti as the football coach. It's just this weird guy, weird mannerisms. Like, it's just like, how's he pulling these sayings out of thin air? But yeah, I mean, every question about him has like been answered. They go, well, their schedules, they don't play anybody. Well, you just went on the road and beat a number 3 team in their house. You beat them by 10 points. And by the way, you did so after throwing a pick 6 and you still beat them by 10 points. They clamped down and actually beat down the Ducks in Autzen Stadium, which I went there last year for their game against Ohio State, which was an instant classic. That's one of the top 10 atmospheres I've ever been in. It's a smaller stadium. It's only like 55,000 people, but it's incredible because of the way it's built. And they went in there and just they couldn't do anything. Oregon only scored 6 points in the final 3 quarters offensively, and both were field goals. And look at the schedule for Indiana, man. They should be favored in every game remaining on the schedule, and they're better than they were last year. Guys, 17-2 at Indiana. I mean, to be 17-2 at Bama over 2 years would be staggering. But to do it at Indiana, Bob, we've never seen anything like this ever. I hope people grasp that. Like, we've had programs like kind of rise out of nowhere, but it took them several years to get there. Like Florida State in the 70s and 80s, Boise State in the 2000s and 2010s. That was a slow build as well, where all of a sudden they became name brand type programs. Indiana's done that overnight in their first year with a new coach, and now in their second year, they're even better. Never seen anything like it. But the transfer portal NIL era, it makes it all possible.
I feel like there are a few things in sports that kind of reset the game that make other people either understand that they haven't been as good as they could have been, or they could be a lot better. One's a 4-minute mile. The first time somebody runs it, everybody then starts running it because you can see that it's done. Adrian Peterson coming back so fast from tearing his ACL. And again, he's superhuman, but it showed that you can come back a lot quicker than doctors have said. And now with Cignetti winning there, I think for better or worse, it's going to set unfair expectations on what great coaches do at even mid programs.
Yeah, and you're going to see a lot more, especially in this cycle, because as I said, there's going to be a lot of programs where their fans are not going to be happy with the coach they hire. And you're going to see some coaches probably from the FCS level who have won big where they're at, or at a smaller program, even within the FBS, that gets bumped up to a bigger job, and people are going to go, what's up with this hire? But you got to find, if you're an AD, search firm, committee, whatever, you got to find a coach who's been successful no matter where they've been on a couple of different levels with different levels of resources. Names that always come to mind for me here in this recent era for that are, one, Kurt Cignetti, because he's done it on multiple levels. Lance Leipold at Kansas, he's done it at multiple levels. And by the way, if the job at Wisconsin comes open, I would think they're going to go directly after him and make him say no, because he had so much success at Wisconsin Whitewater, a lower level program. Chris Kleiman as well at Kansas State. Matt Ince, who was winning big at North Dakota State and is now rising up the ranks as well. Eck at New Mexico State, just absolutely just getting it done. These are the type of things that are becoming a little bit more common for them, for ADs to be more warm up to, because they always want to try to make a splash or go get the new hot assistant, offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator. But just go get someone that starts their career and wins there and gradually moves up, because it shows that their system, their process, the progress they're doing just works. And then invest in them. Put everything you can into NIL and all the tools and everything you need in the recruiting department to make them succeed.
I'll do a final question about Arkansas, in that I think the Petrino meter did not move one way or the other this week, and I think that's a positive. I think he didn't lose anything. I don't think people feel worse about him. Had they come out and I feel like I'm on the team, had we lost by 20 points or so, I think everybody would have already checked out of the Petrino experiment. Had he won, I think you'd have had a lot of people going, hey, I think this could possibly be our guy with a couple more wins. And we've got a couple winnable games we could possibly beat Auburn. It's hard to say winnable when we've been so terrible. But I think there are a couple games, Mississippi State, I think we can win those games. But because it was a close game on the road, I think he's where he was before it started. What are your thoughts on that?
Same. I don't think anything changed there. I mean, they went on the road and they lost in a very similar fashion the way they've lost the last 2 years, right? One possession game, and they lose because they make too many mistakes. They had 3 turnovers, right? I mean, I thought in a way, just because it wasn't the timing, like the Ole Miss game where you're fumbling as you're driving, I mean, put that fumble earlier in the game against Ole Miss, and then they still lose it by the same score. That's what happened against Tennessee, in my opinion. It's very similar to the Ole Miss game. And to a certain extent, it's the same type of result you had at Memphis. So, nothing's changed other than you got blown out at against Notre Dame at home. So that was a different thing. You haven't seen that. But what you've seen in the past, the way they've lost on the road, is the same. I mean, they've been losing one possession games on the road for the better part of the last 2-3 years. This is nothing new. So yeah, it did nothing for me. But they're gonna, in my opinion, because of the way Arkansas is built offensively, they're gonna, I don't know, sneak up's the right word. They're gonna beat somebody that they quote unquote shouldn't on the schedule at some point. It's gonna happen, Bobby, and you're gonna hear people going, Bobby's the guy. Bobby Petrino's the guy. We got to keep him. But I don't see how you do that 3 or 4 times. I think he's got to win at least 4 games.
I do too. And
himself.
I've said the same thing. And it's also unfair to expect him to win that game. I know they had a bye week, an idle week, whatever you want to call it, but I did not feel any more either direction. And so I think he still can prove he can be the guy. I kind of don't care. If he wins games, I think he deserves a short contract, and let's see what he can do for a couple years. If he doesn't, cool, let's go get somebody. I would rather have somebody like you're talking about, some of these guys that have proven that they have won at different levels. I swear to God, I don't want a John Gruden. I don't want, that's the opposite of what we should want, because that is such a fireball that dies a bad death.
Yes. I listen. I hate the idea of saying celebrity coach because in some ways John Gruden can be identified as that, but also he just hasn't been successful very much. Go look at his NFL record. He obviously he's never coached in college football. You hire him, he'll bring you a bunch of attention. Maybe you get the fans riled up. I mean, he'll be great on the booster circuit and all that type of stuff, but you're not going to win. And then in 3 years, it's going to be, what did we do here?
Yep.
I mean, certain programs, even smaller programs, have kind of taken that approach. We just saw it blow up in the face of UAB. They brought in Trent Dilfer. They were like, this guy was on ESPN. He just coached a high school team. That's good enough for us. No. Blow up in their face.
And he still
go get you a guy who wins at multiple levels. I mean, go get you a name coach or whatever if you can, if you got the money, who wins. That's great. But the guy who's coaching at Division II and then goes up to FCS or maybe lower level FBS team and all they do is win 10 games every single year might be just as good, if not better, a coach than some of these big names out there. It's just they haven't gotten the opportunity. And I'm telling you, these athletic departments don't want to spend a lot of money now because of NIL, and they're trying to pinch pennies. Like, that should be, it probably won't be because it makes sense. It makes financial sense. That should be the next wave. Bring these guys up that are winning no matter where they go and save some money along the way.
So who's Arkansas's next coach right now if you're betting?
Man, I don't know. I really don't. I mean, you might hear James Franklin's name come up. I thought we were going to hear it at the end of the year anyway. With them losing the way they are. I think it's wide open, Bobby. I really do. Because everything's going to change week to week because more jobs are going to come open, more big jobs. Florida's out there hanging around. Auburn's maybe sitting out there hanging around. Who knows? There might be a coach or two or retire or steps away. We've had that happen the last 2 to 3 years. Guys just leaving unexpectedly. So it's wide open.
What a week. What a week. Brandon, thank you for the time, buddy. And we'll talk to you soon. On Instagram, at Brandon Marcello. Check his article out we were talking about earlier. He was at Alabama and Missouri, and we'll put the link up. Brandon, good to see you, buddy. See you next week. Okay, so we were just talking with Brandon Marcello, and we did mention that Trent Dilfer stood us up. I hate to see anybody get fired. I don't like to see Trent Dilfer get fired.
Because there are people too, you know?
Well, yeah, and they have kids in schools, and they got to move.
They need groceries and
it's
stuff.
And stuff.
Yeah.
Groceries. I think he's okay.
You know?
He did stand us up once.
He did.
Like, full stand up.
And you know what? We don't forget those kinds of things.
I don't forget.
There's
like, you do not forget.
no, but there is there levels to standing up?
Yes.
Right? And he was, I'll let you take the floor from there, but I agree.
What are you trying to say,
We had
Kevin?
to call the school. He was a high school coach.
Yeah.
Right
and
down the road.
And he was coming over, and it's when he was doing his big PR thing because I'm Trent Dilfer, winning state championships, think I want to be a college coach. And awesome. Drive over. Let's have a whole interview. 5 minutes late, no big deal. He's Trent Dilfer, former Super Bowl champion. 20 minutes late, no big deal. He's state champion Trent Dilfer and Super Bowl. 30 minutes late, I don't know. Is he dead? So we called the school, and he just forgot.
That's how we call the school. Is he dead? Because he's supposed to be here right now, and he's not.
He literally just forgot.
He forgot.
Yeah. And we were like, man, I hope he's okay.
Yeah,
We were legitimately worried.
Eddie was crying, and I was like, dude, it's okay.
I was.
So it sucks he got fired, but it also sucked to be stood up.
Big time.
And I don't know which one's worse right now.
He did have a cool thing in his press conference. I don't know when this was, but I saw it on TikTok where he talked about negativity. Did you see this?
Mm-mm.
He gets a piece of paper and he's like, "This is what I tell my players." And he got a white piece of paper and drew a little black dot on it. He's like, "What do you see on that paper?" And then the reporter's like, "A black dot." Exactly. You don't see all the piece of paper. You see the negative little black dot. That's negativity. I was like, hey, that's pretty good. But then he got fired.
Dang.
I know. I was like, how long am I
That
going
would
to
have
use
been
that?
a lot cooler if he didn't get fired.
You ever see the thing where they put an ant on a piece of paper and draw a circle around it, and the ant doesn't leave the circle?
But is that true, though? Like,
I'm just asking if you've seen it.
I've seen it,
I'm not
yeah.
standing behind
I've
it.
heard of that, but is that real, and how is that real?
I've watched many TikToks on it that I think it is pretty real. I think, and
so
then
the
once
ant just sees the line, is like, I'm not crossing that.
well, they do multiple, and then once one goes across, because it doesn't hold every ant back.
Oh.
And mostly it's like at first they're a little like, I don't think I can get past that. But once one does and they all see they can do it,
Oh, interesting.
but it takes somebody. We were talking about with Brandon earlier. It was like Signetti, like he's winning at a mid at a basketball school at a big level, and I always make the reference to 4 Minute Mile or Adrian Peterson that first ant.
He's the groundbreaker.
That's what he should have done. Hold a piece of paper up, put an ant on it.
Now watch this, everyone.
I've seen this on TikTok. So yeah,
He's got a decent buyout.
he does.
Yeah, 2.8.
Okay, he'll be okay then.
He's gonna be okay anyway.
He'll have groceries for a little bit.
I do get irritated, and it's probably a bit unfair for me to get irritated when people are like, "They'll be like what you just said. They'll be okay."
They'll be okay.
because not because of the money thing, but I would see a lot of people being like, "Yeah, James Franklin, he'll be all right with his $56 million." But the thing about someone like a James Franklin or anyone that gets to that level, the money was never the motivator. So it's also not going to be the thing that makes it okay.
Right.
You don't get to a high level if money's your motivator, especially in coaching or anything creative.
Yeah.
Because you're mostly just poor. Most people don't get out of a place where they're not over middle class. It's an impossible area to break out of. So for you to even do it and pay your bills, anything creative or in coaching, just to get to the stage where you can pay your bills comfortably, that's 1%. And so to get to these psychotic places, money cannot be a motivator because you've been in it for so long for so many reasons that aren't money that when you get fired and people are like, "Oh, he's got his money." Yeah, it's great. Don't get me wrong. But a guy like James Franklin already has plenty of money. It's not going to change his life. And he's going to get eaten up inside to go and compete again. So same with Dilfer. Same with anyone in those situations. But yeah, I get really irritated. People say that.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
Yeah, it's
irritate
okay. You know, Larry, look at this ant. Look at this ant. Let me draw this.
Oh, wow,
Yeah.
it's not moving. No, but at the same time, too, like, don't these coaches know that they're a good possibility of getting fired when they take the job? Like,
Yep, you get fired every job.
you kind of just know, like, I'm going to take this job. I could last 10 years here. I could last 20 years here, but I'm probably going to get fired at some
Yeah, the
point.
fact that he was there for, what,
10?
a decade, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
We remember him here at Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
He was here for a little bit before he left to go up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you
Gosh,
take a
that's 10 years
job,
ago?
it was dude,
Whoa. That time flies. That's crazy.
and we hadn't even having fun. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Yeah.
Because they say that
That's
time
right.
flies.
Imagine if
only
we've
when
been
you're
having fun. It'd have gone by a lot faster. But yes, I think if you take a P4 job, anything after about 4 years, like that's borrowed time.
Mhm.
So
And it's funny too when we saw a lot of these, like when we go to these colleges and interview coaches, it's funny to see some of them like make themselves at home, and then some of them just put nothing up.
those are usually the guys that have moved around a whole bunch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I remember Bruce Pearl, like, and he'd been in Auburn for a while, and he's a good coach and with a winning record, so he's probably going to be there for a while. But he didn't have much in his office.
To be fair, he did leave pretty soon after that. Maybe he knew he was on his
Maybe
way
that
out.
was why.
Yeah. Yeah.
He had a few books in a box and like nothing.
It looked like he was moving.
Yeah.
And he had papers stacked everywhere.
Everywhere.
Okay, let me go through my notes real quick. These are all the losers this week. Number 3, Oregon lost. Number 6, Oklahoma lost. Number 14, Missouri lost. Number 15, Michigan lost. Number 17, Illinois lost. Number 22, Iowa State lost. Again, a second bad loss for them. And number 25, Florida State lost.
And there's one more. Bobby lost.
Oh, I lost many
A
times.
lot of money. But you read that list, and I'm like, that's why we lost a lot of money. Like, that's why we lost.
The portal NIL culture is making everything way more equal. Everything.
Which
And-
makes things so hard to bet.
And you're that's where your mind goes?
Makes
Yeah,
things
yeah.
so hard to bet.
It's going to make it so hard for these coaches to keep their jobs too, because
Yeah.
you're just not going to have the layers of premier depth anywhere, even at a Georgia. You're just not going to have it. And if a couple things don't go your way or an injury or two happens, you're not going to have the depth if you're this A-plus program and you have a couple of bad years in a row, you're done. You have to sadly take your $56 million and go home.
And you may not be all right.
And you may not be all right.
Yeah, you don't get the time anymore to build a program. There's no more building. There's either overnight,
Yeah.
flip it around.
Yeah. Okay, notes. The Jets suck. Justin Fields sucks.
Oh, that was
yeah.
the worst. display
Dude, they had
of
like no
offense.
passing yards.
They had 82 total yards.
Yeah, the second half it was like no yards.
Yeah.
They suck. He might get fired in year 1.
Yes. And I'm like, who's their backup? Oh, Tyrod Taylor. Like, come on. You got to be a little better than that because Field 9 sacks. 9.
Jets suck so bad. Okay, that's a note. Eddie
Early game.
jumped in the. Oh yeah, I hate the game. By the way, I'm over it. I don't want any more 8:00 games.
I told you.
I chose not to watch it purposefully. I ended up watching it, but I chose not to. Like I didn't wake up with the intent of watching it. My wife, pregnant, she's been waking up more. I slept upstairs. That bed's not as comfortable, and so I was just up. And I took the dogs. I fed them. I went and worked out. I just did everything possible to not watch that game.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll just watch it
There's nothing else to do.
Yes, because
You're done with everything else.
It's too much.
It is, especially it hits me like Sunday night. It's just like I've been watching football all day since 8 a.m.
And Saturday.
I'm in shape
Yeah.
on a Sunday to watch football from noon until about 9. I'm about 9-hour shape. I don't have 13 hours of shape.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
So I ended up watching that terrible game. And the Jets are terrible and they suck and they need to relegate them.
Do your guys' families or wives just ever be like, you're like, let's go do this right now. Like, wait, what? You don't want to watch football? You're like, I just need an hour break. And they're like, really?
From football?
Yeah. Because I'll do that.
When do you take that
I
hour
was
break?
doing that yesterday or today, whatever it was. I think we were carving pumpkins with the little ones today. I was like, yeah, I can do it right now after the Patriots played,
Oh, at 3?
What?
That's the best hour to do it. Like
the
3:30 to
good.
4:30
Yeah.
is the premier hour where if you have to get an hour to go, that's the one. Not as many games. The afternoon just slaps you. You're a little fatigued
Yes.
anyway. That's a good strong hour, 3:30 to 4:30.
Okay.
They do give us the 6 to 7
Yeah.
break, but sometimes that's too late for our wives. Like, what's dinner time? Like, what do you want to do now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're just busy during that time anyways. And then before you know it, it's 7. You're like, oh, got another game on.
The 3:30 to 4:30 is the strongest hour.
That's the happy hour, as we call
Yeah.
it.
I try to stay ahead in the opposite way. I will, like my wife and I, we're going to go watch a movie today. We're going to go and because the 3:00 games kind of sucked, but also I wanted to watch the Chiefs. They don't play till 7, which is last night. So I kind of had it, and I knew the Bengals were going to be Joe Flacco's game 1.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, we're recording right now while that game's happening. What's the score?
Just.
What? 24-10. So it's over?
Great.
No, I mean,
no, it's over,
4:15
Brandon.
left. Yeah.
it's over. Yeah.
That's over, Brandon.
Yeah, we got to teach Brandon lingo.
It's over.
Yeah.
You're like, technically, it's not. We have 3 minutes left, guys.
So that game was going. What do we have?
Bucks.
How the
Bucks are up
The Bucks are up,
8 with 8.5 minutes left.
Who's got the ball?
Niners.
and the Titans are winning.
I don't care. about
Just
Titans.
kidding. No.
I
The Raiders,
give no crap about the Titans.
the Raiders are winning 2010.
What's the Tampa
Ni-
Bay situation?
Niners have the ball, but they're on their own 40.
We need the Bucks to win.
We do.
That's massive for our little gambling. I had texted our group thread some stuff, and I was like, "We need this team to win. Save us a couple $100." And Eddie replies back, "This is Eddie's wife." By the way, I know Eddie's wife really well. She would never say, "This is Eddie's wife."
Well,
She would say her name.
I knew you wouldn't, but Kevin, did you think possibly
Not
it could
for
be?
a second,
Okay, all right,
dude.
just checking.
For a second.
Hey,
I
guys.
can see Eddie, I heard Eddie's voice. This is Eddie's wife.
Hey guys, this is Eddie's wife. I said, why do you need the Jets to win so badly?
I just started texting emojis as well to be like, fish is now dollars. And I did a plane for the Jets.
Yeah.
So just,
That's
no,
great.
no.
Let's keep it that way,
Throw 'em
just in
off.
case.
Yeah, Eddie texting his wife was funny. I wrote, Herbert's throw at the end was so good, meaning not just the throw, but he was getting sacked. And they were pulling him down, and he shakes it, I think, to Lad McConkley, whatever, and he runs. That's how they won the game with that field goal. It was awesome. He's now good.
I feel like he's
Herbert?
always on the verge of getting sacked and making a hell of a throw.
He's now good.
He's always on the run.
For like 2 years, I was like, he's not good. Everybody needs to just get off his jock about how good he is. I think he's now good.
Yeah.
And he's got a celebrity girlfriend, so we got to respect that.
Who's his girlfriend?
Madison Beer.
Hey, I know she is.
Who is she?
Why do you bite
Madison
your
Beer.
lip?
No,
You're weird.
no. I'm just saying, I know she is. And the Bengals just scored. Let's go, baby.
You're weird. They did?
Yeah.
So what's the score?
Jamar Chase just scored.
Brandon, is it over? 4 minutes left. All right. So they're down 8 right now?
Yeah, but they haven't kicked a field or extra point yet.
They're
Oh,
going
they
for
just went for 2. They
They're going
got
for
it.
2. They got it? Well, See, look.
Oh, I get
look
so
what I'm talking about.
No, I know. I'll get text messages from people because I'll watch YouTube TV and sometimes it's 20 seconds behind.
Yeah.
Something, oh my God. And I'm like, okay, something on the screen's about to happen one way or the other.
I have to flip my phone over when that happens.
Kevin texted the group thread and was like, let's effing go or something. I don't remember what he said. And I was like, oh, what's about to happen? What's about to happen? And he goes, oh, wrong thread.
I was like, sorry guys, wrong group.
You know what's really fast is DraftKings, like faster than anything.
They have to be.
And
Yeah.
so I love telling my kids, like I look at the score, I'm like, oh, touchdown, okay. I don't know, guys. I just feel like there's gonna be a touchdown here.
You cheat. That's funny.
They're always like, how did you do that?
See, my dad used to do that with red lights. We'd be sitting at the red light, and you could see the other one about to turn, and we didn't know as kids, and we'd be like, 3, 2, 1. Oh, almost. Try to get it. My dad would get it every time, and he'd just be like, I'm just that good, guys.
Dude, that's a core memory for you. That's funny.
Yeah, and that just hit me for
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, still remember that.
Okay, a couple other things. All the SEC, listen to this. Ole Miss is 4, A&M's 5, Alabama's 8, Georgia's 10, LSU's 11, Tennessee's 12, Missouri's 14, Oklahoma 6. This is all before the shakeup. Vanderbilt 20. That's a lot of ranked teams. There's about to be a lot of ranked teams losing. They're all ranked, so just a lot of shakeup over the next few weeks. Texas, Mike, how'd you feel?
I feel pretty good. Arch looked a little better, not overthrowing as much.
Yeah.
It kind of limited him a little bit.
That game was hard to watch.
That game felt like a little, again, I don't watch a lot of it, but when I was watching it, looked like the Browns and Steelers kind of.
That's
Like
good.
nobody
That's a
just
good
wanted to
call.
do anything.
Yeah. It's like you win.
Funny
No,
comparison.
you win.
No, it's like, yeah.
I don't wanna.
Yeah.
It's like one team has 14 players out there at once. One team has 8. They're not doing forward passes. It's just weird. Both those games were weird. The Cleveland game. Dylan Gabriel didn't play terrible.
No,
He
2
threw
weeks
like
in a row.
46, but that game was awful. Even the grass was like extra wet green or something. Like
Yeah.
everything was off.
Were they all field goals? I feel like every time they'd go to that game, there was a field goal being kicked.
Until the end. I think Pittsburgh ended up scoring a little bit, right?
Okay.
Yeah, they had 2 touchdowns
Yeah.
in the second half.
Okay. Let's see. Let me see if there's anything else. And I got a couple Eddie things.
And I did have a question too that my kids asked and
Go ahead.
didn't really have an answer. They asked about Joe Flacco. They're like, the guy, like, he's always going to different teams. What does his family do?
They stay in the same city?
So, okay, they don't move with him.
Uh-uh.
So is he gone like the whole season?
No. During the season, like they can come to an apartment, but if they're in school, I don't know how old his kids are, but I can just give you the common thing that happens.
Yeah.
They
Because I
stay.
had no idea. I'm like, I don't know, man. I think they go with him.
No, they stay home
Okay.
and they go to their schools in the city where Flacco lives. Where's he from?
They live in New Jersey.
So I would imagine they're either like living in Indy still because they signed a new contract. He signed like a longer term contract
Mhm.
there, or they're still in New Jersey. If I were guessing, because that's what a lot of players do once they get later in their career, once they have a home.
So Joe, but team practices in Cleveland, right? So he'll be in Cleveland for
Yes. No, Cincinnati.
Cincinnati. I'm sorry. He'll be there for what, four days out of the week?
Yeah.
And then go home.
He
for
could have a
3
day off
days?
though. They usually get a day off. He go home for a day.
It's tough.
Bye week, go home for
Yeah.
3 or 4 days.
Okay. Yeah, I legitimately had no idea what to tell him. Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I
well-
remember we talked to Wade Boggs, and he said, like, I just had apartments, like
Yeah.
wherever I would go play, and my family would just be back there.
Yeah.
Once you get older, you don't move them around as much. When you're young, you probably, if you have babies or before kids
Yeah,
get put
yeah.
in schools, because you don't want to move your kids around
Mhm.
a bunch. As a new dad, I can tell you,
Very knowledgeable.
you don't want to.
Yes.
Any updates over there on the games for our sakes?
Niners are driving still.
Okay.
Now they're on Tampa's 3rd and 1.
Tez Johnson did score though. We interviewed him at Oregon,
He had his first
Oh,
like
yeah.
couple catches last week. I thought it was pretty
and this
cool.
is his first.
Yeah.
That was his first touchdown.
Was it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
because all their
cool.
other
Yeah,
receivers
pretty
are
awesome.
hurt.
I know.
And he was like a 7th round pick, I think. 6th or 7th round pick. You may look that up. He was awesome at Oregon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like Bo Nix's. They like were brothers. They lived together. Like one of them got adopted by one of them's parents.
Yeah, 7th round.
What?
He was 7th round?
Did he
Yep.
talk about that in the interview?
No.
Dude, I had no idea. That's crazy. So he
At
actually
least
like,
lived with them for a year. One of them lived with them.
Yeah,
like in
Tez
high
lived
school.
with
Tez
his
lived with-
family.
Is it Tez lived with the Nixes?
Yeah, with the Knickses, yeah.
like in high school.
He's like in a,
Yes.
yeah.
That's what.
That's amazing. What a
And
cool
then he
story.
went to Temple or something like that. Tez did. And then once Bo went to Oregon, then he went to Oregon too.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Eddie thinks he'd be a good baseball manager.
Oh, dude, easy. Easy. Just from watching a lot of this postseason baseball, I just feel like if I were the manager, I would just tell these guys, like, hey, whoa, don't swing so hard.
Oh,
Just barely hit the ball, man. You guys are strong. Every time they barely hit the ball, it goes over the infield base hit.
I'd hire you.
I mean, easy breezy.
Goes over the infield.
Goes over the infield, hits that little gap in between the shortstop and the outfielder, dude, and is like, all right, we're on base. Like, why are they swinging so hard?
I think you have a bright future ahead of you.
Spit some sunflower seeds and be like, hey, you got this, bud. Hey, don't swing so hard. Pat them in the butt. Off they go.
I think one of the more interesting things about being a baseball manager is it's so much analytics now.
Yeah.
And there's really not a lot of even need for instant decisions. Baseball's not really an instant decision sport. Football much more so is. And you can
Yeah.
have analytics built in, but plays are changing.
Is that why they're always looking at their little wristband? Like, okay, Judge is up. Like, I got moved to my left. This is where I stand as an outfielder. Is that why they do that?
I thought.
Or they look at the little notes on their hats?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm
It's
sure.
all game planning. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd have to learn this if I'm going to be a manager, guys. I don't know this
I
stuff.
think the Yankees might be looking for one soon. So
I think
you can hit them up, dude.
Okay, I will.
Well, that's a good place to start too.
With
It
the
is,
Yankees.
yeah.
Yankees.
A little small team.
Yeah.
Unknown.
Did you ride any of the rides?
Oh, yeah.
You did.
I rode a lot of rides, man. But I got to be, dude, I think I'm done. I think I'm done with roller coasters. Like, I have 4 boys, and every time we go to a park, it's like, let's go, Dad. And I'm like, let's go. And afterwards, I'm like, my body can't take these. There was one called the Jolly Rancher Remix. Dude, it was crazy. It went, so it starts you off going up. You go up like you're going straight up like you're going to drop, but you don't drop. It lets you go backwards. Then you do a little loop-de-loop. Then you go up on the other side. It stops, gets higher, and then you go do it again. It's crazy. That's why it's the remix, because it goes forward and then backwards.
Got it.
Um,
Do you think you'll be sore?
Oh, my neck will definitely. I'm already sore. Like my neck, I can't turn it all the way to the left. Like, because, and it's not even like, I don't know if it's my body or what, but like my brain starts freaking out when I get on these roller coasters. Like there was this one that was all wood. It felt like I was on a real train track. And I'm like, this thing's gonna break. Like while we're on it, and I look back, my whole family's on here. I'm like, we're all gonna die. So in the 2 minutes that this ride is going, I'm thinking, this is it, it's over. And like, I can't stop my brain from thinking that my kid's gonna fall out. Is that tight enough? This thing's kind of loose. My brain just goes crazy thinking, dude, it's over on those roller coasters. So that's part of it. My body can't take it, and my brain freaks out while we're on roller coasters.
Not the best commercial for the Hershey Park. We're not doing a commercial for them. That's not
No one died,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
man, I was scared
No
the whole
one
time.
died.
And we'll see you next weekend at Hershey Park.
Yeah.
Tell him Eddie told you at the gate.
We got an interception Bucks.
Oh, yeah?
Okay.
Yep.
What's
so
the
they got
time?
the ball back with 5:45 left.
Up 8?
Up 8.
Okay, so, boy, it'd be better if it was 9.
Yes, it would. It would be better if it was
Not to be
9.
Mr. Obvious, but it'd be way better if it was 9.
Captain Obvious.
All right. Hey, Mike, one question before we wrap.
Yeah.
I was reading that The Rock's movie, not that they ever expect the second week to be a monster if the first week wasn't, but it did even lesser than the expectations were. And I was pretty excited about watching that. It's called
The
Smashing Machine.
Yeah.
It's a story of a real guy,
Yeah.
early UFC guy.
Mark Kerr.
Why is it not working?
I don't think people are too familiar with him, and his story isn't compelling enough to drive people to want to go watch a movie that they don't know anything about the person.
Is the movie good?
The movie is good, and I think The Rock probably played him like perfectly, but there's no reference point for me. Like, I don't know what Mark Kerr was really like.
So have you seen the documentary?
I have not.
Okay.
There's a documentary on
Yeah.
Marker.
Yeah. So, yes. So I was with a guy. I told you. Maybe I told you. He does Ariel Hawani,
Yes.
and he said watch the documentary first in the movie if you're gonna watch them. But he liked them. But that's his thing: UFC, boxing, even a bit of wrestling. So people just aren't familiar enough with the story. So The Rock was good in it.
He was really good at it.
Is this the first Rock bomb?
Yeah, I think in recent history it is, because the movie cost $50 million to make. Opening weekend made $6 million. That's
Whoa.
nothing. The Rock has millions of followers on Instagram. The fact that it only made $6 million is crazy, but I don't think it's a loss to him yet. If he can get an Oscar nomination, I think that is worth it for him, because I think that's why he took this role, because it's more emotional. It's not just your average, like, okay, I'm going to be The Rock and I'm going to be the action guy.
Yeah.
It's more in depth, and he was like pretty convincing, and like him like crying and really getting that out there. Obviously really good at the fighting scenes, but I think that's why he did this movie. Because everybody's like, The Rock just does the same character over and over. Let me show him a different side.
And it can't be streamed yet.
Not yet.
They're getting those out pretty quick, though,
Yeah,
right?
you wish there was a gear where if the movie just sucked at the box office,
Spit
pull
it
it.
out.
They usually do it quicker. If it doesn't,
It's on Netflix now.
If it came out yesterday, nobody went. Watch it today on Amazon Prime.
if it bombs like this, they stick to like that strict like 45 days, then it's out.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll watch the documentary probably soon. Have you watched or started season 3 of Alice in Borderlands?
I have not started it yet. No.
You're done with 1 and 2, right?
Yes.
I really liked 1. I thought 2 was a little less than 1.
I loved 1.
Okay, same. Do you think 2 was a little less?
Yes.
I think 3. We've only watched 1 episode. I think 3 is going to be awesome.
Okay.
With just 1 episode, and it's only 6 episodes total this
Oh,
season
that's
instead of
it?
8. Yeah. I don't even want to ruin how they come back because I don't want to spoil anything about anything with the first 2 seasons if you guys haven't watched it yet. It was made at the same time as Squid Game. Squid Game is
the first Squid Game.
I think it was before it, wasn't it?
they made them at the same time.
they
It came out before.
Okay, okay.
Yes, but barely, like a few months.
So much so that you thought, like, how did they rip this off?
Yes,
Oh dang.
yes.
But the guy who made Squid Game made it like 10 years before it even came out. Like, he had that idea.
We are done. I'm gonna watch the documentary. I think maybe even tonight. I'm not sure which service it's on, but
I'm gonna look for that.
I'll get
too.
it, and then I want to watch the movie. Okay. What a show! I gotta say, when we do these on Sunday nights,
You like it?
they're better.
Yeah.
They
Well,
are
we've-
better.
We've been awake for a while.
Well, and we're not
All day.
exhausted from getting up early and working all day.
Yeah.
I know it's probably, I don't know to you guys which one you prefer because it's like taking a part of a day off that we have to come and do this. But I think the shows are better. And then, yeah.
Agreed.
So
And we're gonna do whatever's better. So let's do this.
I never
I mean,
want
maybe
to
not
never
every
want to
week.
take you guys out of
Not every week.
Eddie, pump the brake.
I don't know about you guys, but I love doing this,
I mean-
working on the weekend.
but we stay at work less on a
I
Monday.
know.
Yeah.
That's true.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So-
Something to think about.
Something. All right, we're out. You guys have a great rest of the week, and we will see you later on this week. All right, goodbye, everybody. Bye, guys.